I'm Lissa.
And I'm Lauren, and this is the Favorite Daughters Podcast.
Sorry, we're trash.
So, the first thing I wanted to just mention is that I'm going to get my second COVID shot tomorrow. And I've heard a lot of mixed things. I know Dad had a fever and was...
Yeah, but he got the Moderna.
It's the same thing.
It's not.
It's the same thing. So, I'm getting a second shot of Pfizer, and my boss's wife was fine the day of and the day after, and then she had symptoms for like 2 days. The first shot I got, I was super achy. I laid down and I was like, oh, I'm gonna relax. And then I was like, okay, I'm done relaxing. And then I just couldn't move my body. It was one of those terribly hilarious situations where it's like, I'm trying to lift my arm right now and it's not going anywhere. So I'm a little nervous. So I have to go, I got to start work in the morning, go out, get my COVID shot, come back, finish up my work day, leave early, go to the doctor. It's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I don't even know if I'm going to be able to drive myself to the doctor later in the day. So we'll see how that goes. Which one did you get?
Pfizer.
Pfizer? Okay. And you were fine, right? You didn't have any symptoms?
My arm just hurt.
Yeah.
But I haven't got my second shot yet.
Well, that was on my first shot that I was dead to the world.
Mom didn't have any symptoms at all.
Mom didn't have any symptoms at all.
Why are you hating on Mom like that?
Sorry, Mom. Yeah, we apologized to her about all the unintentional trash talking we did last episode. At the end of this episode, we're going to start tossing in an outro with how to get in contact with us, our email and Instagram. We're going to try and crowdsource some stuff from the listeners, some interesting stories and things like that, things that might spark some conversation. Any questions you guys might have about whatever this is. I don't even know. Welcome. Just welcome to the nonsense. Yeah. Anyway, I found out something very interesting on the internet today, so I had one story to talk about. We'll get to it. Lissa has a few things that she's been writing down this week from work that she wanted to chat about, so maybe we'll talk about a couple of those things first, and then we'll get into my weird history fact that I found out online today. Well, not today. Last week, whatever it is.
When it's slow at work, all I just do is watch TikTok all day long, so there's a bunch of TikToks that, I wanted to share with you without
actually seeing the TikTok?
Because, watching the TikTok and hearing the information from me, it wasn't anything you needed to watch. So, I saw TikTok where some lady said that there are no brown cats, and it fucked me up momentarily.
What do you mean there's no brown cats?
There's no brown cats don't exist. They're extremely rare, one in a million.
Why did he decide to play with a toy while we're doing this? Come here, bud.
Gary.
Well, you guys are just going to hear the squeak. I can't. He's too cute.
Too cute.
I got a pug, and he's adorable. Anyway, so brown
cats, it's a rarely...
Like a solid brown cat?
Because
tabby cats are brown?
No, a solid brown... I'll show you the picture of a brown cat, and you're like, holy shit, I've never seen a fucking brown cat. They don't exist. They're the cutest things in the world, and now I want one. And now I'm going to be on the hunt for a brown cat.
You don't need another cat.
Listen, by the time I find one, the fatso I have will probably be gone.
Let's see the brown cat.
All right, images of brown cats. Like a brown fucking cat.
Oh.
Like a brown cat.
That's not a brown cat, though. It's a really light black cat.
No! It's a brown cat. And they said that there are...
brown cat! It's a brown cat! What the hell was that?
I don't know, okay?
It's the brown cat!
Yeah, so the brown cat, they said they can get really dark where most people will mistake it as black.
Well, but
because their nose isn't black. It's pinkish brown.
I'm so glad I know this information now.
And it kind of fucked me up for a moment because I was like, you're right, I've never seen a brown cat and they're really cute and now I want a brown fucking cat, okay? And then the other, I saw a TikTok.
Okay.
Where some guy started like a timer on his laptop and was talking back to this guy, talking about how, you know, we've always been told you're doing like a 15-second up to a minute TikTok. Mm-hmm. It was 3 minutes long. And I didn't believe him. I was like, oh, it's got to be like editing or something. So I timed it on the computer at work and watched it on my phone. It was 3 minutes long.
How?
I don't know. It was a 3-minute long TikTok.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know.
I thought it was like 15, 30 seconds, or 60 seconds.
Yep, that's what I thought too, but nope. A 3-minute long TikTok.
I guess I don't have enough TikToks.
I mean, do you want to watch it?
No, I don't want to watch it.
Okay. I'll send it to you later.
I trust you. Ain't about get time.
And then I saw another TikTok. This one I had to Google because I was like, maybe it's one of those stupid fake things they do for TikTok.
Yeah, you gotta fact check.
There is something called the Waffle House Index.
Like an index of all the Waffle Houses?
No. It's a
list of all
device FEMA uses to determine how bad a disaster is. Based on
where the Waffle Houses are?
If the Waffle House is serving the full menu, it's fine. If they have a partial menu, And if Waffle House is closed, they know some shit's gone down.
How the fuck? I mean, I guess I know how the fuck. There's always a fight at Waffle House.
Then this TikTok went on to say that Waffle House is more prepared for an F5 tornado than they are for a health inspection. What? Yeah, Waffle House is so prepared for, like, disasters like that FEMA has a Waffle House index to determine if the disaster was hit hard in that area.
I wish there was a sound my eyelids could make by blinking repeatedly at her, but there is not.
Yeah, those were the few TikToks I saw. Oh, so me and Dan were doing Uber Eats a couple nights ago. Mm-hmm. And we get a double order from a Chinese food place. So we pick them both up, and one was to go down the street a little bit, and it was on Mill Plain, where we didn't think there wasn't a residential house, but it was a residential house. So we knock on the door and no one answers, and so we text the person and no reply. So Dan decides to give them a call, and then it says, like, this phone is not in service. So he knocked on the door again, and then he left the food. We were going to pull away because that's the right address.
Yeah.
And then someone opened the door and was like, can I help you? And we're like, oh, we have your Uber Eats food. And he's like, I didn't order anything. And I don't remember what the name was, but he looked at the bag and he's like, yeah, there's no one here by this name. Like, I don't know. He's like, that's the right address, but there's no one here. We didn't order any food.
Well, do you want it?
And I was like, okay. And he's like, well, there's another apartment around the back that's also the same address. Like, go check that one out. So Dan goes, he's like, oh, it's just around the back of the building. He's like, yeah, there's a door around back. So he goes inside, locks the door, turns off the lights, whatever. Dan goes around the back of the building, comes back with the food. He's like, there's no door in the back. And I'm like, this guy said, this house he's living in.
Sounds super rapey.
And I'm
like, oh, just come around back for a minute. There's a door back here, I swear.
And I'm like, that's so weird. I was like, this is this guy's house. Like, why would he tell us there's another apartment and a door in the back of the building if there's not? It was like it was a little smaller than your house, but it was like a 2-story, but like, there was no duplex door. Or anything. No. And it was weird. So we're like, okay, so according to Uber Eats, like, you have to wait like 8 minutes or something, and then you can mark it as like customer not found and keep the food or throw it out, whatever you want. So we had to wait there. No one showed up. We're like, maybe they put in the wrong address, but I'm like, we can't call them. I'm like, maybe they'll realize when their food
and walk down or something.
Yeah. No one. So we wait the whatever minutes and mark it as like undeliverable, and it sends us, so it updates it and then starts giving us directions to the next order. And Dan just goes, what the fuck? And I'm like, what's wrong? And he goes, it says it's 45 minutes.
To the next address?
Yeah. For some reason, it was sending us to Trumbull.
The same address in Trumbull?
No.
Oh.
That this old girl ordered food from a Chinese food restaurant in Danbury, and it was supposed to be delivered to Trumbull.
That shit could be cold.
And Dan was like, that's not right. And like, we order from the app all the time. Like, you can't, it doesn't let you order that far.
It doesn't.
It tells you too far to order. Like, it was really weird. So Dan called the Uber Eats support line and was like, what the hell? Like, why is it telling me that the delivery is 45 minutes away? He's like, is this some kind of mistake? So the guy was like, oh, well, tell me what the name of the order was. He gave him his information to pull up his account too, and like where the order is going. Mm-hmm. And the guy comes back and goes, I don't see that order. And I
what
was
do you
like,
mean you don't see the order?
And he's like, I see that you picked up an order at the Chinese food place for the Mill Plain Road, but not for the other one.
But you're looking at it on your app.
Yeah. And it gave us a name and an order to pick up.
And they had the order.
Yeah.
And it was paid for.
So the only thing I could think of is that, like, they ordered this girl, Jane, whatever her name was, I don't know what her name was, ordered from a Chinese food restaurant called Beijing, because that's where we picked it up from, mm-hmm. but it sent it to the wrong Beijing.
Well, that's possible, I guess.
Because I was like, why would it be 45 minutes away?
I ordered Five Guys once off Uber Eats. I ordered Five Guys. Or was it DoorDash? Whatever it was. Not sponsored. And we were trying to figure out why it was taking 45 minutes to bring a freaking burger to the house. Mm-hmm. Sorry about the dog. And we texted the girl and she goes, oh, they sent me to the wrong Five Guys. I was like, how? Like, I selected the restaurant, the one restaurant that was available in my area. Yeah. You smoking the reefer in that parking lot or some shit. Because my food ain't here yet and I'm hungry. I guess it's possible. I don't know if any of you experienced the issue with DoorDash that they had a few weeks ago where, like, the system totally crashed. And, like, I had put in an order for the Japanese place around the corner from me, and it kept telling me, you can't place this order right now, you can't place this order right now, you can't place this order right now. And I was like, well, fuck it, I can't place this order right now. So I called the restaurant, we placed the order over the phone, my boyfriend went down to pick it up, and suddenly I start getting phone calls from delivery drivers like, oh, sorry, your food's taking so long. And I was like, I didn't order any food. They're like, oh, well, do you want me to cancel it? I was like, yeah, I didn't order any food. So then I looked at my credit card statement, and I was charged 3 times. So this restaurant got 3 orders from me. I was able to cancel one somehow. And then I got a call from the one guy. I told him to cancel that order. And then when my boyfriend was there was a lady trying to pick it up, like trying to take our food out of his hand because she thought she was delivering it. We're like, no, we did not place an order. It was a shit show. I went on Twitter, like everyone was like, what's going on? I can't even imagine these people that may have gotten like their cards overdrawn and stuff. But I still order. I'm too lazy to go out and get food. I did it again. I reached my activity goal by flailing my arm on the podcast.
Hey, it's activity. Yeah, but this guy, he was like, I don't see the order. He's like, somehow he was able to cancel, Dan was able to cancel it.
So now you had 2 people's Chinese food in your car?
So we just brought it home. So we had the 2 orders. The first one, because the person didn't show up, we got paid for it. Like, it's not our fault. But the second one, he canceled it and put the reason, I don't know, other or something like that. Mm-hmm. And it still gave him the money.
Oh, that's good.
And it was only like $10 or something. Like 45 minutes for $10. You'd think it would be more.
Something's fucked up with that.
Yeah, so it was, and I was like, this poor girl is like, where's my Chinese food?
You get an alert that it's canceled though when it is.
But she must have gotten an alert saying it was picked up.
That's true. That is true. I also got a text message that night that I ordered that Japanese food at 11:30. So-and-so is approaching with your order, and so has delivered your order, but no one ever came to my house with food. So I don't know how that happened.
That happened.
I don't know how that happened. I'm in bed sleeping, and I was like, well, there's Japanese food on my front porch. It's staying there.
Yeah, right? It'll be breakfast. I don't know if this is a ghost story as much as if it just was weird. So the other night, Dan wakes me up. We usually have like a white noise machine sleeping and then a fan. He turns everything off and then wakes me up. He's like, do you hear that? And I was like, hear what? I am sleeping. Clearly, I didn't fucking hear anything. And he goes, it sounds like someone's dragging furniture outside.
Like in the front lawn? The driveway?
No, he said it sounded like it was coming between the 2, like that little alleyway between our bedroom window and the other house. And he's like, listen for it. So I'm sitting there in silence at 3 o'clock in the morning going, this is creeping me out. What am I listening for?
They're dragging a body.
And all of a sudden it sounds like someone's fucking dragging furniture outside our bedroom window.
Did you look?
We looked, there's no one out there. He looked to out the front window to see if there was someone in the street or on the sidewalk. We looked out the side. He went out and looked in the back. There was no one outside.
They were dragging a body.
Did
you look in the dumpster?
It sounded
Did
like...
you look in the dumpster?
No. I should look in the dumpster. It sounded like... It sounded like one person dragging something heavy. So it would be like a dragging noise, like, and then stop. And then, and stop. Like, they were pulling and then had to take a break. And then pulling and then had to take a break. And then it would happen like 3 or 4 times and then stop.
That's really weird.
And then we sat there for... He said it was like going consistently for like 5-10 minutes. And then I heard it a couple times. And then we sat there like, what is that? Trying to figure out what it was. Until we just didn't hear it again for like 10 minutes. And then we went back to sleep. And then I wake up in the morning, probably 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I go to the bathroom and I'm sitting on the toilet. Sitting on the toilet. Sitting on the toilet. And I hear it again. And so like I finish up. And I look out the windows thinking there's got to be someone outside doing something. Nothing.
That's weird. Could it have been coming from upstairs?
No. Because they snore really fucking loud.
Maybe they were moving furniture in their house with the windows open next door? Guess that's a weird thing to do at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. And continue till 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
No, upstairs they snore so loud. I hear it with the white noise machine and the fucking fan going. Sometimes I just sit there staring at the ceiling like, just wake the fuck up.
Oh my god.
Snore yourself awake.
I would go
Please
sleep in the car.
snore yourself awake.
I would go sleep in the car.
That's why the majority of the time I fall asleep with the TV on so I can focus on something else.
We always have the fan on and then we have to put like thunderstorms on or something. I can't sleep in dead silence. I don't know who... Psychopaths.
Oh.
Psychopaths sleep in dead silence.
See, I don't know what kind of person can just say, I'm tired, I'm going to sleep, and climb into bed and put their head down and fall asleep. Who does that?
I do.
How?
I do.
How?
I do.
Like, I have to go to bed, watch some TV, sit on my phone for a little bit. Like, I have a whole routine where, like, if I'm not in bed between 10 to 11, I ain't going to sleep till 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, I need, like, an hour of sitting there watching TV on my phone to start to feel sleepy, to where I put my phone down and then, like, roll over, watch TV for another 10, 15 minutes, and fall asleep with my fucking glasses on. Like, I can never just, I'm going to sleep now, and lay down and fall asleep.
That's exactly what I do. Actually, most nights I lay down and I don't even intend on falling asleep, and I fall asleep. I got the mom gene, you got the dad gene.
Yeah, man.
I saw a TikTok the other day, and this girl is sitting in her living room. She's filming her mom laying on the couch, tucked in under a blanket, and she's like, Mom, it's like 7 o'clock. Don't lay down, you're going to fall asleep. No, I'll be fine. And it's like 7:05, her eyes are shutting.
I went over to Mom's house the other day to do laundry, and... like, had dinner, cleaned up everything. She sits down on the couch with her little iPad and her little iPad pillow thing. And, like, she's leaning on one arm and, like, her hand is resting on the iPad with the finger out like she's playing her game and she's dead asleep. And, like, the ad is just keep playing over and over again. And then me and Dad looked at each other and started laughing, and this was, like, at 7 o'clock. We look at each other, start laughing, and wake her up accidentally. And then we just looked away like nothing happened. And she goes, oh, it's time for dessert. And gets up and gets dessert. Gets an ice cream sandwich, eats the ice cream sandwich, and then falls right back asleep.
Yeah, I'm Mom. I woke up last night after like an hour on the couch. I was like, I'm hungry. And then I had 2 Pop-Tarts, and then I went to bed.
The other night, I think Dan must have spilt water on his little noise machine thing that I got him. So, like, every once in a while, like, it'll start popping and making weird noises. But, like, it woke me up one night and it sounded like dripping, like water dripping. And I'm like, that's coming from the white noise. I'm like, am I picking up fucking ghosts on the white noise?
Oh, shit, no.
It was like, drip, drip. And I'm like, can I turn that off?
Nope. Holy
and, like, I didn't want to wake him up or turn it off because that would wake him up. So I just kind of sat there hoping it would stop making the dripping noise and hoping something wouldn't start talking to me.
So let me tell this story. Brought to you by an article on history.com.
Mm-hmm.
It's the history of toilet paper.
Uh-huh.
That kind of blew my mind for a moment to think that there were times with no toilet paper.
Excuse me?
First of all, toilet paper
What did they use,
didn't
though?
always exist.
Just rags?
And
Like, I would call that toilet paper.
Not even.
Did
So,
they
like,
just take a shit and pull their pants back up?
I'm sure at some point they did. So there are some records of, wiping your ass with leaves or grass or stones or whatever that you had, right? Because back before we were more civilized as a species, per se. So the interesting history starts back in ancient Roman times. First of all, let me remind you that back in ancient Roman times, privacy in the bathroom was not a thing. So they had big open rooms where there were just kind of like benches on both sides with holes in them where they sat and communally took shits.
Oh, can we bring that back? That sounds like fun.
Oh, if you want to bring that back, you should be watching fucking TikTok. There are people designing bathrooms without doors. There's just like a divider wall.
I mean, next time we have to take a shit, we'll just leave the bathroom doors open.
Yeah, I guess so. I have two bathrooms that are oddly, suspiciously right next to each other. Anyway, so they would sit in these open rooms, right? Shitting in their holes. There are some records of them wiping their asses with pieces of pottery, right? Which is weird. I mean, I can imagine it would kind of get the job done, but that's not going to get you clean, right?
It's going to hurt.
They have this bucket in the corner of the room that has either vinegar or salt water in it. And in that bucket is really what you could call a toilet brush. It is a stick with a sponge on the end of it.
It was a communal toilet brush.
It was a communal toilet brush that they would just shove in their cracks, wipe that shit off, and dunk it back in the bucket. It's bad enough that they're shitting in groups. But to use a sponge on a stick, my god.
Oh my god.
Okay, so let's move forward a little bit into China's history.
I don't want to know anymore.
They graduated a little bit. They had bamboo spatulas with a piece of cloth tied on the end, which I would hope that they changed out. I don't know, that's really all it said. It wasn't until the 6th century that paper was actually mentioned being used to wipe an ass. Alright? And it wasn't until the 14th century, more than double that time later, that paper was actually manufactured for wiping your ass. And it was perfumed.
So, like, what the hell were they doing before it was manufactured for that use? Were they just ripping pages out the damn Bible and wiping their ass with it?
We'll get there. So...
Pass me that scroll.
Well... paper was expensive, fine cloth was expensive, they couldn't afford to, wipe their asses with these things. So they had to use just whatever they had. Maybe, newspaper? If you could afford a newspaper? It's gross. Don't even get me started. This is disgusting. I almost vomited in my mouth to think. I haven't even gotten to the worst part. I haven't even gotten to the worst part.
There's a bidet where it just shoots water in your asshole to clean it. They couldn't just be like, oh, I'm gonna clean it with water. They had a pottery. They had the option of washing their ass with water or pottery, and they rubbed pottery in their asshole.
These are people that did not shower, Lissa. Okay? Now, getting to more modern times. It wasn't until 1857 that the Western world got toilet paper.
Okay, I can't...
57.
I can't watch Downton Abbey anymore without thinking, how are they wiping their ass?
In the 1700s, there's history about people using corn cobs to wipe their asses, newspapers and magazines, and believe it or not, the Sears catalog was often used to wipe people's asses.
I'm sorry, there was a Sears catalog in the 1700s?
I don't know what date it came into play, but it was mentioned at that time frame in the article. Until, however, the pages became glossy and they could no longer wipe their asses. The thing. Right. So here, okay, I've got 3 more facts. 3 more timeline facts, and the last one's the kicker. Okay? The last one's the kicker. It wasn't until 1883 that we had toilet paper on rolls with dispensers. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until 1890 that those rolls were perforated into the nice little pages that we have today. And are you ready? A very recent year on this timeline in the history of toilet paper. It wasn't until 1930, wasn't until then that toilet paper was splinter-free. Like you're gonna vomit. 1930, until people were wiping their asses with something that was guaranteed not to give them a paper cut, a corn kernel up the asshole, or a splinter.
How would you know if it was from wiping your ass with something you ate? Because it would look exactly the same.
But, like, seriously. It blew my mind. It blew my mind. 1930? That recently, like, less than 100 years ago, splinter-free.
Okay, so when you were talking about this whole thing, it reminded me of a news article I saw on the book face. Of some lady who is all about zero waste. And she sewed together reusable toilet paper.
Okay.
And she has a bucket in her bathroom. Mm-hmm. That after she wipes, she just chucks it
in the bucket.
There. And it'll stay in the bucket for like a week until it's full. Mm-hmm. With her and her children, her husband, everyone in the house
uses this reusable
toilet paper. And it's just a bucket full of piss and shit rags until she washes them.
In the washing machine?
Yes.
She washes them in a washing machine.
Yes.
So she's not trying to be energy efficient.
Hold on.
She's not trying to save water. She's just trying to save paper.
You're upset about her throwing it in the washing machine. I'm upset that she's letting a bucket of shit hang out in her bathroom.
I'm concerned about how she washes this, and then she washes her regular clothes in the washer with all the shit residue? Okay, did they show this? Was there any photographic evidence? What color is this reusable toilet paper? Because I imagine it being white and then it turning shit brown and it never stops being shit brown.
No, it was just like...
I have other concerns.
She didn't show it dirty, but it was like just cotton strips.
Ew.
Like different colored cotton strips.
Ew. Yeah. It's like she's using a litter box. It's like her family's using a litter box.
A litter box might be cleaner.
Litter box will be cleaner. Why don't we use litter boxes?
I don't know.
I guess we gotta wipe our asses, cats don't.
Well, we used to actually squat down to take shits on the ground. Yeah. So, if we did that, our cheeks would spread enough where it wouldn't really need to be too much wiping.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I got IBS. I don't know about that.
This has been an interesting episode.
Yes, it has. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I would like to add one thing to that. Like I've said before, it's not truly a shower unless you spread your ass cheeks and let the water blast your asshole.
Thanks for joining us again on the Favorite Daughters podcast.
Follow us on Instagram at Favorite Daughters Pod.
And if you have any questions, comments, or stories, please reach out to us at favoritedaughterspodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your funny stories, ghost stories, satisfying Karen stories, and anything else interesting you may like us to read on the podcast.